to the saga of Donna the Duck. Donna is the duck who had a 3-foot arrow through her breast. Good Samaritans pursued and captured her on the golf course where she lived. Doctors removed the arrow. And today, Donna went home to a champagne and corn reception as only Las Vegas could provide. Frank Burkholzer was there.
It is safe to say that a duck is a duck. If you've seen one duck, you've seen them all. Unless it's a duck with an arrow through its craw. This duck you can pick out of a crowd. But wait a minute, a red carpet, a champagne party, T-shirts, a supply of corn wrapped in ribbons, a welcome home sign on the marquee of a major Las Vegas hotel. Yes, all this and more to celebrate the return of the celebrated duck after its operation to remove the arrow, its mark of distinction.
Okay, folks, let's welcome Donna the Duck to her home at the Sahara.
The duck did not appear to appreciate the ceremony, brief as it was. So the 6 camera crews, dozen or 2 reporters, miscellaneous other welcomers, moved on to the big moment and the big question. Now that Donna was once again a duck like any other duck, what would she do?
She goes out, guys, stay down.
It was predictable. We said hello. She said goodbye.
The arrow was removed that she might starve to death. It was mid-afternoon today when the capture was made. That's Humane Society President Dart Anthony up to his neck in the pond at the Sahara Nevada Country Club golf course. A number of crafty plots to catch the bird were hatched, but the one that worked involved spiking her afternoon snack of bread with barbiturates. The drug slowed her down enough that she could finally be outrun, if not outsmarted. Failure in one pond led to success in another. And before too long, Donna was safely in the grasp of Humane Society officials. It was then off for the trip to the animal hospital to have her arrow removed. Sue Parkinson picks up the story from here.
After the 5-minute helicopter flight, Donna landed at the Black Mountain Animal Hospital. Doctors immediately prepared her for surgery. The infamous arrow through Donna's breast was first broken by the veterinarian and then pulled out of her body. She was given a few stitches and then posed for television cameras. Oddly enough, the surgery was considered minor. It lasted only a few minutes, and Donna's surgeon says she'll do just fine.
The surgery really wasn't that involved. The arrow just simply passed through the skin and had a little portion of the crop caught in it, it looked like.
Any complications that you foresee?
We really don't foresee any major complications. The real question will be whether she can pass food normally and make sure no infection comes up. But we've got her on antibiotics and really don't think there'll be any big deal about it. Probably by the end of the week she'll be out with her friends again.
Donna's new accommodations at the animal hospital are not quite as luxurious as the Sahara Country Club, but for the next few days, she'll be calm.
Here's my favorite news story we covered last year. It's about Donna the Duck.
In May of this year, news crews from all over the United States converged on this golf course at the Sahara Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. What brought them here was a duck named Donna, who had been found shot through the chest with an arrow. This is Donna's story, but even more, it's the story of the people who cared.
I've raised her and all of these little ducks out here since they've been little ducklings.
Steve Stakowitz, who lives adjacent to the golf course, was the first one to find Donna.
I stepped out the door and she was out there with her mate just quacking, and it just made me sick. I had a sickling feeling in my stomach to see anything like that. I can't believe that anybody would do that. Better off if they'd have killed her than to have her going through life like this.
Because of his concern for the wounded duck, Steve contacted Dart Anthony of the American Humane Society.
Right, we have to get the arrow out of her. We have to get her to a vet. She is losing too much weight.
Dart Anthony called Tom Harper of the United States Fish and Wildlife Service, and together they set about trying to capture Donna and remove the perilous arrow.
We're making every attempt to trap it, and we hope we will. We don't want to injure the bird in any way, and we have to be careful the way we trap it, because the arrow there, if caught, could catch and possibly tear and seriously injure the bird.
For nearly a month, Dart, Tom, and Steve attempted to capture Donna.
Dart!
They used nets, traps, and even spiked some corn feed with vodka. But Donna had a very alert protective mate, a drake named Harry. And every time Dart and Tom would get close to Donna, Harry would warn her, and off they'd go.
Drake is a warner. He just warns. You can see him. You know, he's the one that took off. She went right with him.
Dart and Tom next began an all-night vigil.
Hopefully we can get her tonight so she can get the medical treatment while she still has enough strength to take that surgery.
But once again, Donna and her drake, Harry, outmaneuvered the men, and she got away. They tried a last-ditch method, putting sleeping pills in her food. Gary Weddle, a local veterinarian, joined in this effort to save Donna.
What the plan is to saturate a piece of bread with this, give it to her to sedate her enough to catch her without harming her.
Donna! 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 Yay! Oh, God!
Dart, over here.
Get the helicopter!
Will somebody want to get a towel for her? A towel?
Although Dart was worried about Donna's safety, she remained calm and quiet. It was the humans who showed the strain.
How you feel, Dart?
Tired? Couldn't done this without Tom Hopper.
Look here.
A little baby, aren't you, honey? Yes. My little darling. My little sweetheart.
But the ordeal was not yet over for Donna. She was rushed by helicopter to Gary Weddle's veterinarian clinic for surgery to remove that still dangerous arrow. I went to the animal hospital and finally got a chance to talk with the men who were so generously giving their time and energy to help save Donna. The arrow had been removed in surgery, and they planned to release Donna later that day. How are you going to feel when you let Donna go today?
Sad and relieved. She's become a very intricate part of my extreme daily life, day and night. That's how I'll feel. I don't know about you.
Well, it's just going to be nice to sit down and relax again. Just plain relax.
It will be nice to sleep again and feel comfortable that she's safe and the danger is out of the way.
At last, I was going to meet the courageous duck. She's pretty, isn't she? Very good.
Oh, you're doing good.
First attempt. Before she could leave the hospital and finally head for home, we had to fit Donna with a sort of body stocking so that she would not injure herself during the journey.
There we go.
Her turn. You hold on the top of the...
You want me to still hold on? Oh.
There you go. Just
No.
Just grab her around the neck. She won't hurt you. Very gently.
Yeah, Harry's waiting for you, sweetheart. As we flew over the Sahara golf course, tension was mounting as members of the press and people from all over the country waited expectantly for the heroic duck. When we finally arrived, it was a happy moment for Dart and Steve and all those involved in Donna's plight. We formed a golf cart caravan and rode out with Donna to her home pond. In the last few moments before Donna's release, we all held our breath in nervous anticipation. But the most excited of all was Donna herself.
Hey, when she goes out, guys, stay down, will you?
Reunited once again with her mate and her 3 ducklings, we watched as Donna and her family paddled off into the sunset.
Here from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is Tom Harper.
Stay tuned for more real people.
Seemed to grind to a halt while we attended to one singular humane deed.
Donna Duck in Las Vegas was shot with an arrow, and though wounded, she tried to live a normal life.
The nationwide impulse to aid this bird of distress was unleashed. Here for the first time is the complete story of Donna.
The story begins with Donna being shot by an arrow. The incredible thing is that for 6 weeks after the incident, Donna, along with her mate Harry and their 4 ducklings, continued to carry on as if nothing had happened. Donna makes her home on the pond near the 13th fairway of the Las Vegas Sahara Country Club golf course, and she soon captured the hearts of millions of people around the world. To see her fly was inspiration. To imagine this duck overcoming her handicap and persevering. Donna's human friends were amazed at the sight of her. She became an extra added attraction on the golf course, and people would come to admire this amazing animal who wasn't about to let what looked like a mortal wound stop her from taking care of her family.
Steve Saskowitz, who had fed the ducks for many years, continued to keep a watchful eye over Donna. His backyard became a place where Donna and her mate Harry would rest, Harry making certain that nobody got close to his injured mate. Donna's human friends soon realized that her predicament was no laughing matter. She was obviously losing weight, and everyone was aware that the odds were against her. She would die if the arrow wasn't removed. As it was, the wound could get infected, or the arrow might catch on a branch and puncture her vital organs.
Something had to be done immediately, and the authorities at the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services and the Humane Society were notified. Experts from local veterinary clinics conferred on safe ways to capture Donna, but she continually one-upped their best-laid plans.
The well-intentioned would-be captors used every device they could think of. They tried stalking her with nets, but she'd always slip away. They tried wading after her to catch her by hand. She'd slyly swim out of reach. They tried swimming up on her, and she'd simply flap her wings and fly away.
The frustrated duck chasers then resorted to booze warfare, kernels of corn soaked in vodka, but Donna doesn't drink. What finally did the trick was bread soaked in mild barbiturates. Once tranquilized, Donna was unable to fly and was an easier target for her pursuers. Tom Harper from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service finally bagged brave Donna the Duck and handed her over to Dart Anthony of the Humane Society. The helicopter finally arrived, so Donna could be taken to the Black Mountain Veterinary Clinic. The veterinary clinic awaited Donna's arrival. Sterile instruments were prepared to remove the arrow. Donna remained calm, still feeling the effects of the sedatives she had eaten earlier.
Dr. Gary Weddell carefully unsealed a pair of cutting pliers in order to cut the arrow about a ½ inch from Donna's body so that only a minimal amount of the shaft would be pulled through the wound. He then trimmed the rough point of the arrow in order to make certain no splinters complicated the injury.
Sorry, I'm just moving it through.
As a disinfectant, iodine was abundantly applied to the arrow and the area surrounding the puncture. At this point, infection was Dr. Weddell's chief concern.
Tip's nice and smooth now.
The moment of truth had come. The doctor gently pulled the arrow through the womb, careful not to tear the delicate tissue.
Here it comes. That's it. It's out of there. Tilt it.
Additional iodine was used on a probe stick to further clean the puncture wound and eliminate the chance of infection. Donna was a good patient and bravely withstood the pain. Now all that had to be done was for the wounds to be sewn up with 2 sutures on each side.
Her ordeal was over. All she needed now was rest.
The surgery really wasn't that involved. The arrow just simply passed through the skin and had a little portion of the crop caught in it, it looked like. I really don't foresee any major complications. The real question will be whether she can pass food normally, and make sure no infection comes up. But we've got her on antibiotics, and really don't think there'll be any big deal about it. Probably by the end of the week, she'll be out with her friends again.
Donna's incredible recovery was celebrated by hundreds of well-wishers who gathered at the Sahara Hotel for a champagne reception. Her tremendous willpower and strength were honored by those who had helped her survive her ordeal.
Her arrival by helicopter was received with full Las Vegas red carpet treatment. Wrapped in a protective towel so that she wouldn't strain herself trying to fly away, Donna was escorted by Dart Anthony to the clubhouse party that awaited her.
An avid fan placed a fingerful of champagne on the guest of honor's bill, but it wasn't champagne that Donna wanted most. She graciously sat through the ceremony, but her mind was on the pond and her feathered friends.
In the end, the guest of honor, Donna, had center stage, or center pond, as a celebrity whose courage and incredible desire to be free are a wonderful example to us all.
Decided to climb the tower because he had always been impressed. Sahara Country Club golf course because Donna the Duck with the arrow has finally been captured and the arrow removed. And she's doing just fine. It took almost all day yesterday. Humane Society and wildlife officials tried spiking her corn with vodka, but that didn't work. So they used a barbiturate, soaked it into pieces of bread, and finally got her to eat some. It slowed her down, but she knew she was being followed, so she gave chase. Finally, Tom Harper from the wildlife office caught her with his bare hands. She was flown to the vet by helicopter. The arrow was removed.
Mallard duck was spotted near Las Vegas with a 3-foot-long arrow in her breast. Since then, rescuers have been trying to capture the wounded duck, nicknamed Donna, to remove the arrow. Yesterday, they finally succeeded. Jackie Glass reports.
The capture was a major production for Humane Society and wildlife officials. They tried just about everything, had watched her every move for days, and finally resorted to drugs, a barbiturate. It took a while for her to eat the drug-soaked bread. It took effect, but she was still alert enough to know someone was after her. She was up in the air again, and the chase was on. She was tired, the nets got closer, and then she was scooped up with bare hands. Donna, wrapped in towels, was examined close-up by her adoring fans for the first time since she was hit.
I don't want to move this arrow at all.
A helicopter transported her to the vet who removed the arrow in minutes.
All we simply had to do was cut the arrow off, debride or clean the wounds, the entrance and exit wound, and suture them back together once we pulled the arrow out.
The doctor said she was in excellent condition. They'd watch her for a few days and then return her to the pond. And hopefully for Donna,
when apparently is recovering from her wound, it looked like a story with a happy ending. But it's a kind of soap opera, and true to form, it appears her mate has flown the nest. Linda Douglas reports.
Although she seemed a little out of place in a veterinary hospital this morning, Donna the Duck looked like an ordinary brown mallard. For 6 weeks, she looked more like a weather vane than a duck, sporting an arrow shot through her chest by a hunter. Catching Donna had become a local obsession. All efforts were unsuccessful, leaving rescuers feeling a little silly. Finally, they fed her breadcrumbs, drenched in a drug prescribed by a duck specialist. The woozy bird tried to get away, but the humans finally caught up with her. Got her. Donna was rushed to a local veterinarian who removed the arrow and pronounced her well. Throughout the duck chase, Donna was vigorously protected by her mate. One observer said passionately, "This is a story of duck love." But the vet who removed Donna's arrow said her mate may not be there when she returns.
The pair bonds are very tenuous in ducks, lasting only a season, so she'll pick a new mate for next year anyway.
Indeed, Donna's mate was seen on the golf course today, chasing another female. Nevertheless, her ducklings await her, with or without the drake. And with any luck, Donna will probably